My respects to you.
You know something about Ginger?
I might have heard something, and if you share a bit of silver with me, I might share what I know.
I'm investigating a crime, not bartering for a chicken.
Well then, I'm sure you've got some silver on you. Just give it to me, and it'll be a done deal.
Good then. How much were you imagining?
You already cost me a bit of my time. Now I want double.
That's quite a bit. Let's see. What about this?
It'll take more than that to persuade me.
What about this?
Well, a little more, and we'll call it a deal.
Not bad, not bad. Listen up. Ginger has two mates, twins, who are keeping him hidden and taking care of him. They go out every day to bring him something to eat.
Where do they take the food?
I don't know. I didn't follow them. Why would I?
That's all you have? That's what I paid so much silver for?
If you'd already known that much, you wouldn't be here talking to me. So I reckon you got your money's worth. May the Lord watch over you.
It's not my fault. There was nothing I could have done to help. I was frozen solid. I couldn't even open my mouth. I couldn't even get a peep out. They would have killed me if I'd said anything. I couldn't stop what happened. I'm not to blame.
Jesus, you've led me a merry dance.
What do you want from me?
I want to ask you a couple of questions. Why did you run off like that? Where are your cronies? And why did you kill that bandit?
What?
Right, one thing at a time. Why did you run off in such a hurry?
Because I was afraid they'd come back and kill me.
Who?
Those bandits, of course.
To get revenge on you for killing their mate?
Killing? Me? I never killed anyone. God is my witness.
I'm looking for your friends. Where are they?
The charcoal burners? They're over at the...
To hell with the charcoal burners. Where are your bandit mates?
They're not my mates. They nearly killed me. I recognized one of them, so I thought they'd come back and...
Recognize? Who was it? Talk!
I don't know his name, only that he's from Ushitz and he has a limp.
What can you tell me about him? How do you know him?
I saw him a few times in the tavern in Ushitz, playing dice and boozing.
And?
I know he lives in a house on the edge of the village, but that's all I know. I never talked to him.
Why did you kill that bandit?
What? Bandit? I never killed anyone.
This is yours, isn't it? I pulled it from the belly of a dead bandit near the stud farm.
That is mine, but I didn't stab him. That fellow took it from me.
What fellow?
I don't know his name, but he's from Ushitz and he has a limp.
He limps and he's from Ushitz. That's not much to go on, but I suppose it'll have to do.
It's all I know. I never talked to him.
And now tell me exactly what happened. And don't leave anything out.
That's quite a long story.
Don't worry, I won't get bored.
All right. I woke up in the middle of the night because I needed to go for a piss. So I went out into the dark, same as usual, only there was something there that shouldn't have been. At first I thought it was just a trick of the light. It wasn't. And then it was too late. They went past and I thought they must be horse thieves. I would have yelled, only I was afraid they'd kill me. So I waited until they were out of sight and I started to sneak away. But
Then the slaughtering started.
yes, I thought they'd steal the horses and ride off. That would be bad enough, but then all the killing started and flames everywhere. It was terrible, like hell itself.
And then?
It seemed some of them didn't like it either. They started squabbling among themselves, and some of them started running back where they came from, right towards me. And I had that thing in my hand, the hoof pick.
So you stabbed the first one in the belly?
No. He ran right into me. He was running fast for a fellow with a limp. He pushed me aside and I fell on the ground. Then he told me I'd better lie low if I valued my life. He ran off with the others. I did what he said and hid. Then the rest of the gang ran past.
And then?
Then I waited in case that limping one from Ushitz came back. I didn't dare come out until I was sure. I think it was almost light.
What about the others? Was there anything you noticed about them?
I don't know. There might have been maybe 8 of them, and 2 of them were really big. That's all I can remember.
Do you know what they argued about?
I didn't hear everything, but I reckon some of them were only there to steal and wanted no part in the killing.
That sounds terrible. I know exactly how you feel.
If only I yelled. Maybe they...
If you had, you'd most likely be dead. It probably wouldn't have done any good anyway.
But still...
There was nothing you could do. That's all. I've heard everything I need to hear, so I'll leave you be.
Wait! What about me? Won't you help me out?
Perhaps I could. What would you like?
I'd like to go back to the stud farm, but those cutthroats who want to kill me are still around. Will you help me?
They're out of the way. I ran into them on my travels.
Really? That's great, but
What?
I'm afraid to go back to the farm. I ran away, and God knows what they'll think about him. I don't know if they'll even want to talk to me.
I could go and ask them if it's important to you.
Would you? You'll definitely have their respect, the way you took care of those cutthroats.
Hey, Kimono! Itt épp egy malacka tévedt a disznőlésre. Mit csinálsz ott? Mi volt ez a hang?
Itt vagyok! Jó fasz!
Na gyere, te kané!
Előlem nem bújsz el.
Good evening.
I found Ginger. He begged me to ask if he can return, ma'am.
Why should I take him back? It might be his fault I had to bury my husband.
What?
Why else would he flee but guilt? The men said they didn't see him in bed. He didn't have a clean conscience because he gave those murderers a signal.
That's not true. He fled because one of the attackers recognised him and Ginger was afraid he'd come back and kill him.
Those are just excuses. He wouldn't dare come back.
But they came back the very same day. If he hadn't run, they'd have killed him and everyone else.
But why would they do that?
Why not? They'd already murdered several people. Why not a few more?
And now I'm supposed to take him back? What if they come back for him and kill one of my daughters in the process?
The cutthroats who were after him have been taken care of. And the rest have no reason to return here.
And what about for revenge? I can't take him back.
I understand your concerns, but you just need to ask Sir Hanish to leave you a guard. Those bandits might be willing to take on a few stable boys, but not an armed soldier.
I'd definitely feel better if someone was here a few days to keep watch.
It can be arranged. I'm sure Sir Bernard won't object.
Good then. Let the lad come back again. May the Lord watch over you.
You can return home. It was hard work to convince them, so please don't get into trouble when you go back.
Thank you. I'd like to give you something, but I've got nothing except if you're ever traveling by way of Neuhof, stop by and I'll show you something with the horses.
Please, help me.
What happened to you?
The farmer threw me out with my little girl, the bastard. He fathered it himself, and then got rid of us so his wife wouldn't scratch his eyes out. I hide in the woods at night and during the day beg here at the roadside. I'd like to bring the children something better to eat than acorns. Haven't you got something for me, sir?
Food? Let me see. What about this?
May God reward you for your kindness.
Good health to you. God be with you.
God save you.
I talked to Ginger and found out what happened.
Out with it then.
Ginger fled because he recognized one of the raiders. He was afraid they'd come back to silence him.
Well, he was right. They were asking about him. So who did he recognize?
He didn't know his name. Some fellow with a limp from Ujits.
All right. Since you've gone this far, you may as well ask around at Ujits. We've enough to do here in these parts anyway. Sir Radzik will tell you about it. He said to send you to him if you haven't already been.
I've taken care of the camp.
Where's the proof?
Here it is.
Oh, that is a nice bit of news. And that's not all. There's some trouble on the road to Sasau. There's most likely another camp thereabouts.
Understood?
God be with you.
I have some, trophies.
Let's see. Quite a collection. My boy, you're God's own avenging angel.
Can you teach me how...
Certainly.
I'd like to practice...
All right.
Isn't that quite a lot?
Are we agreed?
That's not enough. Agreed. Now, listen up.
Can you teach me how...
Certainly.
I'm interested in more about...
All right, but...
Isn't that quite a lot? Are we agreed?
That's a poor...
My last offer.
Well, now, a little more and we'll shake on it. Agreed. Now listen up.
Can you teach me how...
Certain.
I'd like to hone...
First, you have to have...
Well... I'd like to learn...
Certainly.
I'd like to... Isn't that... Agree?
That's not enough. Agreed. Now...
I'd like to learn to...
Certainly.
I'm interested in...
Wouldn't you rather learn the...
Well... I'd like to improve my...
Certainly.
I'd like to...
Now...
I'd like to improve my...
Certainly.
I'm interested... Isn't that... What do you say to this?
It'll take more than that to persuade me.
My last offer.
You're a right pinch. Sorry, but I'm not going to teach you for that price.
I'd like to improve...
Certainly.
I'm in... Isn't...
You're a right pinch per...
Is this enough?
That's not enough. Agreed. Good luck.
I'd like to improve...
Certainly.
I'd like... Isn't that quite... Agree?
You won't convince me with that. Sorry, but I'm not going to teach you for that price.
I'd like to improve my...
Certainly.
I'd like to hone...
All right.
Isn't that quite... What?
It'll take more than that to... Sorry, but I'm not going...
I'd like to improve...
Certainly.
I'd like to hone... Isn't that... What about this?
It'll... Agreed. Now let's...
Greetings. What do you need?
My lord, I managed to find a clue to the whereabouts of the bandits.
Excellent. Bernard already told me what's been happening, but I'd like to hear it straight from the horse's mouth.
The whole story, or just the gist of it, sir?
It's up to you what you consider important.
One of the Neuhoff stable boys, a lad they called Ginger, fled from there and hid out with some charcoal burners. I have to say, there's a lot of them around. I never thought how many forges and ironworks they have to supply.
That's true, but keep to the point.
Oh, yes, sir. I had quite a job finding him. He was well hidden and with good reason. The bandits wanted to kill him because he recognised one of them.
Did he tell you what happened?
He said it wasn't one gang, but two. And one of them took fright when the slaughter started. Seems they were only interested in loot, so they quarrelled with the other lot. Then it came to a skirmish in the woods and one of them was killed. And the rest of them scattered.
And did you find out where they went?
All I know is one of them is from Uzhitz. I know enough about him to be able to track him down.
All right, but those cutthroats must know who he is too, right? And if they want to get revenge on him or silence him, you'd better hope they don't get to him before you. So drop everything and get on his trail. Find out what he knows and then report back to me. I'm going to our encampment at Merhayed to oversee the security of the region.
Yes, sir. Why choose Merhayed?
It's somewhat at the centre of events, isn't it? And what's more, there's another stud farm there.
Sir, do you think they're going to try the same thing again?
I shouldn't think so. Everyone will be on the alert now, but the secluded dwellings are more vulnerable. There are few people in them. They're scattered everywhere and we can't guard them all.
But the bandits won't find much silver in places like that.
There's always a groschen or two, some food and so on. Anyway, how much silver did they get from slaughtering those horses?
True. If they'd stolen them, they could have sold them. Those were fine animals.
Exactly. It's not about the silver. It's about something else.
But what?
Creating fear. Such great terror that you won't even squeak when they come to cut your throat. Never mind raise your hand against them. Fear that will root you to the spot, staring like a rabbit entranced by a stoat, waiting for the death blow to fall. Helpless to do anything about it. Take care.
with you. Take care. I'll be with you.
Greetings.
I have some news about the...
Good. Tell me.
The trail leads to Uzhitz. I found out one of the bandits is from there, a fellow they call Limpy Lubosh.
I see. What else?
That's all I've found out so far, sir.
All right. Come back and report to me as soon as you learn anything new. God be with you. Hey!
Greetings. What? Goodbye. Goodbye.
Can we do something about the price?
Well, we can try it.
Is this enough?
That's not enough.
Agree?
That's not enough. See now, I knew we'd come to an agreement.